What is happening, everyone? Welcome to the show. I've got my mate Dave in the house. He is partaking in some beverage drinking. Today, we're going to do... so we cooked a carrot and zucchini soup yesterday. So what I'm going to do is turn it into something fancy by using... I got some gnocchi that I bought, Mama Emma gnocchi. It's really fucking good. And we've got some really nice chorizo free-range pork. And we're going to fry some of this off. I'm going to just get this pan on, get this cooking. That was Dave burping. I do apologise, everybody. Very rude. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our chorizo, this lovely free-range stuff. Pop that fucker in there. Gets this. So I've got my soup recipe, which you can. I'll put a link up. Fucking hell, what happened there? Oh, I put a timer on. Oh, I don't know. It's had a timer. So I got the soup warming through. If you want to do the recipe, there'll be a link at the end of the video, so you can knock that up yourself. So once you've got this soup, and this works for all kinds of different soups, what we're going to do is cook off some chorizo, and then we're going to fry off this gnocchi in the oil that we get out of the chorizo. Because it's super fucking tasty. And because this is fresh stuff, you don't actually need to put it in water. You can just kind of pan fry it. So this is perfect for this. And so what I'm doing is, as you can see, I'm just cutting like little chunks like this. And these are going to almost become like little fancy croutons. Because we like a fancy crouton, don't we, Dave?
Love a fancy crouton.
Yeah.
That, by the way.
What?
He edged that and they didn't have a review though.
Ah, yeah, because we wasted... By the way, we're watching the cricket, everyone. England trying to beat South Africa and the tail wagging, so it's very frustrating. And we used up all our reviews on some really stupid fucking calls yesterday, so... Anyway, that is cricket. We'll just have to get them out the old school way. So, we've got our pan heating up. I'm just dicing up this sausage. I'm going to pop that in and get that cooking down. Hopefully you can hear me over the sizzling. So we're just going to fry this off until it's a bit crispy on all sides and toss it round. And then while you do this, you'll notice the sausage will release all these beautiful oils into the pan. And that's what we're going to fry off our lovely gnocchi in, which is going to be awesome. So yeah, so basically get your chorizo, get it frying off, get it nice and crispy, and then we'll do the next step. So we'll just pop that in there, perfect. And then when you're heating your soup up, just don't you don't need to heat it up like super quickly. I'm just going to put a bit of pepper in. Yeah, you don't need to heat it up super quickly, just on a real gentle low heat. And then it'll be ready by the time you've done all this stuff. So I've got that just cooking on my gas hobs in the background. So you can kind of see we're already starting to release all these beautiful oils, which is just perfect. So that's just going to keep cooking down, and you're going to get some in your eye, which is great. So let's get this gnocchi open. How the fuck do you open this fucking thing? I've had a little drink, so I might be a little bit more sweary than normal. But it's alright. You guys don't mind a bit of effing and jeffing. So there's our lovely gnocchi. That can just stay there for the minute. This is just going to... Now you don't need to keep moving this around, because we want it to take some colour on one side before we start moving it around. So... And this stuff isn't going to burn, like, really. We're on like a medium-high heat, so it's a 7 on this thing. It's smelling rather delicious, I have to say. Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to just cook this for 5 minutes, I'd say. Once it starts taking a bit of colour on one side, just toss it around like this and just keep it moving around and just let it... start crisping up a little bit. And just keep doing this that I'm doing for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll get on to the next step. Right, we're back. So can you see what's going on here? Motherfucker, the little cunt just burnt me. It's starting to take on a bit of colour and get a bit crispy on the edges. So this is about right, and it's starting to, if you push against them, they're a bit firmer. So this is getting really good. This is about 3 or 4 minutes from when we last left off. So I reckon it's about right. Give it, I reckon, a little bit longer. We don't want to overcook this because we don't want it to dry out. But I think this is pretty good. I'm going to get a bowl, and that is looking pretty damn good. Yeah, so that's good. I think I'm pretty happy with that. So now what you need to do is just get a bowl, fish this out. Try not to tilt the pan like that. Hang on, let's just turn this off for a second. Tilt the pan like that so all the oil comes down here, and it'll just be easier to pull out the chorizo, nice and kind of crispy on all edges. And so yeah, this was like a medium to high heat, but not fully like maximum. So like you don't want to smash it too quickly. Pretty damn good. I should probably have a slightly better utensil for doing this, but anyway, never mind. Maybe if we can just flick the fucker in. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty good. So, perfect. So that's in a little bowl. That can just sit there and do its thing. Now I'm going to get the heat back on. And you see all this beautiful oil in the pan now, yeah? This is all super awesome and full of flavour. Now, I might just let that cool down just a touch. Put it on quite low. So this is on a 3. Let's just get some of this oil off this. That's hot, so don't do that. So, yeah, that's good. So now what we want to do is get our gnocchi. And again, we don't want this to be too hot. So I've turned the heat down. It's on a 3. We're just going to pop all this gnocchi in. Just do it kind of carefully, not like that. Break it apart a bit. And you have to get this kind of fresh gnocchi that tells you that you can do it without cooking it in water. Luckily this stuff is, look, it says it on the pack, you don't need, no need for boiling water. That's what you need. And just be careful with this, because I've already smashed a couple apart, but I've been a bit too heavy-handed with it. So what I want to do now is just toss these around. Can you see they're just taking on all that oil and changing colour? That's perfect. So now, once they're all coated, we're going to just add a bit of pepper, and butter is your friend. I'm going to just put in a few little knobs of butter in this, just kind of dotted around the pan, and just get that kind of melting through, because you know, butter basically makes everything better. So if you're ever in doubt of whether you should put some butter in it, you should definitely put butter in it. I'm just going to toss that around. And then what we want to do, once that's all nicely coated, we want that just to start taking on some colour on the bottom side of this. I might just turn that up a notch. You don't want this to heat up too quick. And this stuff's like perfect. It's just kind of cooling down and getting a bit crunchy and delicious. So yeah, pretty awesome. Now, keep an eye on this, and as this warms up, it will start puffing up and getting like softer to the touch, and it will start taking on a bit of colour. And that sort of really light, gentle sizzle, I'm going to go whack it up a notch. So this is an exact medium heat on number 5 on this thing. And that's kind of it. Now we just let this do its thing. So I reckon this is going to cook for 3 or 4 minutes on this side, and then we're going to like jostle it around, turn them over, get it cooked off on the other side. So total times on this is going to be about maybe 8 or 9 minutes like this. And just keep an eye on it and just keep having a look and seeing. Once it starts taking on some colour and going a bit golden, you know that's going to be about right. Let's just get this dangerous knife out of the way. Actually, no, we need the dangerous knife. I'm going to put some coriander in this soup. So if you watched the soup recipe yesterday, you'll notice that, I talked about how coriander is really good, but I didn't have any. So because I'm reheating it today and using it, I can use a bit of coriander. So I'm just going to take, I don't know, maybe that much, I reckon. If you've got a badass sharp knife, then you can do that with it. Which your knife probably won't do that. Not that I'm criticising your knife, but I have an obsession with sharpness, so it's a very unhealthy obsession, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's still doing its thing. It's still a bit early to turn that, really. So just keep an eye on it. You might need to get a spoon in your thing and just be careful with it. Yeah, you see there, that's starting to take on a nice bit of colour. So it's obviously a bit hotter in the middle. So I know these ones here are going to be pretty good, so I can start turning those. And it's a bit of a faff because you could just toss it around, but you kind of want to make sure this gets a bit crispy on each side. So you do have to sort of just turn these individually. It's just a bit of a faff, but it is worth it. Oh, you little fucker. And yeah, gnocchi like this, it's just fucking amazing. It'll just go light and puffy and crispy on the edge. It's yeah, it's pretty good. And that's the only problem with this induction, is that it doesn't quite spread the heat out all the way. So it's mainly focused in the middle. I mean, it's still quite a big circle, but if your stuff's at the edge, you just need to keep moving things around to the centre. And I mean, you probably don't want to see me just turning all these, so keep doing this, keep an eye on it, turn over one when you think it's had long enough, and just keep an eye on these ones in the middle, because they're going to be starting taking on colour. Move some of these ones in from the edge, just so that you've got some nice rotation going on. And yeah, let's just keep doing this for a few more minutes, and then we'll be back and I'll show you what we're going to do next. So and at what point do we want to start adding it in. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, you can see there's some really nice colour getting on these now. Have you ever done this with gnocchi, Dave?
I have not.
No, it's a fucking taste sensation, mate. You're going to fucking love it. And then what I reckon is this soup has warmed up enough, so let's just get that so I don't burn me thing. So yeah, there's my beautiful soup, and I'm just going to, I've taken that off the heat, that's had more than enough, and I'm just going to pop in this fresh coriander into the soup. That was about a handful. Pretty good. Actually, I might just, probably should have done this, put a bit of that into there so you get an extra fresh coriander zing with it. Yeah, that's good. And then the rest just stir through into the soup. And I tasted this yesterday, so I know the seasoning's pretty spot on, and I know it doesn't need salt, especially because the chorizo is a bit salty, and we're going to put some freshly grated parmesan on this, so I definitely know we don't need salt, but a little bit of pepper is good. So yeah, see, that's perfect, see? And I don't want any more heat to go through this, because it will just cook off the coriander too much, or cilantro if you're mad and American. I don't know why the fuck you call it that, but anyway. Yeah, that's awesome. They're pretty much, you'll notice they're kind of a bit soft and squidgy, but crispy on the outside. And they're probably about right, I think. Pretty good. And then what you could do is just sprinkle all that in. Maybe add a little knob more butter if you want to be ridiculously indulgent. I'm not talking much, I'm talking like that much. Turn that off and just give that a final little toss. I might give that a little fresh zing of pepper, because why the devil not? And that is perfect. Look at that. Fucking yes. Right, clean all your shit out the way. We'll plate one up and we'll give that to Dave first, because he is the guest. Let's just give this a wipe down. A clean kitchen is a happy kitchen, everybody. Not that this is actually I've just put all of that on the floor, but never mind. So yes, so get your bowl. Get your nice ladle that we talked about in our kitchen equipment episode. Put that over there. Just give that a final little stir up. And this is a great thing to do for like a dinner party, because you can pretty much, you can prepare the soup beforehand. And this stuff, as you can see, I mean, we pretty much cooked that real time. That took kind of, what, 10 minutes, a bit more? So there, that's perfect. So now we just, we get a, where's my fucking spoon gone? Can never find anything. And this just sort of, just put this in top here. And we might get Dave to come and take a sexy photo with his fancy camera that I can use on me.
Take a sexy photo.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we just pop this in top, and this just sits together with our nice bits of chorizo. And I mean, you don't. I will probably put more in once I. No, we have to do a proper sexy photo, Dave. Proper sexy, yeah. And look at that. That is awesome. And now what we're going to do, because we're amazing, we're going to get our lovely Parmesan and just grate a bit of that on top of here, and that's just going to melt through. Grate a bit of your finger if you can. You don't have to though. And there we go. I mean, you can just do a little final like that if you want to, just to be fancy. And there's your fucking awesome carrot and zucchini soup with pan-fried gnocchi and chorizo with a bit of fresh coriander. Absolutely fucking banging. Off we go. Super delicious. You can stick some more gnocchi in there if you want, but yeah, there we go. I hope you like that, guys. Tune in again soon. I've no idea what we're going to do next. I got some beef in the fridge, some minced beef, so I might do some burgers or something. So anyway, we'll figure it out. So yeah, cheers for tuning in. I'm Timmy Foodie. Head over to @Timmy_Foodie on Instagram or timmyfoodie.com for more great recipes. Like, follow and subscribe, and tell your mates, share with your mates, and let's get this channel crack-a-lacking. We'll be back very soon with another recipe. This one was a bit hectic and disorganised because I'm a bit drunk, and it's just, it's going to happen sometimes. So yeah, cheers everybody, and we'll be back very, very soon. And yeah, cheers, bye.